Hey, what's up guys? Bryan Lewis at PrecisionRifle101.com here. I just wanted to kind of talk through a little bit about backpacks or just packs in general and what I use to carry around gear from stage to stage and also what you'll see me use to shoot props like a rooftop, for instance. So I've got a couple of packs here, one that I use currently, one that I used to use and may actually end up switching back to. We'll see what happens there, but I'm going to give you some information just on the packs themselves and on kind of what the gear in the packs are. And I'm going to actually pan the camera down so you can actually see down below me, and you won't really see as much of me in the frame, but you'll hear me talking about them. Again, I've got two of them here. One of them is a pack by SOG. It's a little small day pack from them. I like this size a lot. The nice thing about the smaller packs is they let you, or they keep you rather, from overpacking. So it's easy for me to overpack and pack more junk than I need. So if I've got the space, I'm gonna fill it, kind of thing. So the nice thing about this pack is it keeps you from doing that because it doesn't give you as much space, but still plenty of space to pack what you need for a day match. And usually I'll refill if I need to refill things like ammo. I'm not gonna, for a 2-day match, I'm not gonna take all of my ammo for the entire 2-day match. I'll only take usually what I needed for a day and a little bit extra. So again, this is an SOG pack. It's what I used to use. It's got one compartment out front. It's got some small pockets inside it to kind of divide up kind of what you want to keep where. It's got a small pocket up top, another small pocket up top. Those are great for storing smaller things that you may want to get to quickly. A rangefinder or a kestrel, for instance, things like that. And then you've got your main compartment that also has some smaller sub pockets in it as well. It's nice because it keeps everything kind of segregated and separated, so you don't have a bunch of stuff just kind of jumbled up and mixing up together. So again, SOG, great pack, and what I used to use. Now I use something a little bit bigger, and it's made by Field Line, I believe. Yep, Field Line. This pack came actually, I think, from Amazon. It's not anything super expensive. A lot of people spend a lot of money in packs, and one day maybe I will, but right now these are serving their purpose, and when they wear out, I'll just buy another one. Again, this one's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to put, again, pan the camera down, you'll be able to see kind of side by side what they look like sitting next to each other. And again, we'll talk about what's inside them and what I'm carrying. So these are your two packs side by side here. Bear with me here. All right, so these are the two packs side by side. You can see the SOG here on the left and the bigger Field Line on the right. So size-wise, there's definitely a little bit of a difference. And now you can see why I say that this guy keeps you from overpacking and probably why I'll go back to it. But this is my pack. This is what I use currently. I've got an S-beaner on the side that I use to carry a water bottle. Great for having water between stages. Most matches, or a lot of matches, will have water there, but if they don't, or you just want to refill your own water, it's nice to have. These guys are great, and they'll keep ice all day, so you always have cold water. This is the cheap one from Walmart, Ozark Trail. It's not a Yeti, but they work great. So this pack is set up very similar to my other pack as far as where the pockets are. I have a brass bag here on the front, on the Molly section on the front, just kind of a dump pouch, but it keeps me from throwing brass in all kinds of different pockets and having to hunt it out. So that's where I keep my brass, right there up front, where it's easy to come off a stage and drop it in the bag. Front pocket has my binos. I keep them in a pouch just to keep them from getting beaten up. But I carry a pair of Canon image stabilized binoculars to every match. I use them to spot between stages. I use them to pick targets out. They're fantastic, and they are some of the best money I've ever spent in this sport. If you've got a monocular or something like that you want to keep in there, same kind of thing. Again, a pocket that's easy to get to when you need it. Another thing I keep in this pocket is Allen wrenches, tools, that kind of thing. I have a full set of standard and metric Allen wrenches, both for repairs or anything that needs tightening, whether it be a action screw that comes loose, a scope mount that comes loose, anything. If anybody else has something that comes loose and somebody needs tools, it's great to have a full set of both standard and metric Allen wrenches. I also keep this guy. This is a multitasker tool. Same principle there. I've got two separate bit holders. So I've got everything from hex heads to star heads to flat heads to Phillips heads, and then the multitasker tool itself. So you can unscrew that guy and put the bits there, use it for tightening things. It's also got an AR pick set and kind of scraper tools on the other end of this. It's all kept in a small little pouch that came from one of my favorite people and favorite companies, Dustin Coleman at Coltac. Great guy, supports the sport, supports Virginia Precision Rifle Club. Just all around great guy, makes great products. So that's a little pouch that holds that guy. Let's see, there's a couple other things in here, one other thing in here. This is a basically a DIY dope holder. It's a Night Eyes bendy thing, just like a Sidewinder, basically dope holder with a little badge holder attached to it, so I can change my dope cards out if I needed it. I always like to have a backup of a lot of things. I actually run a Hawk Hill data holder, which has been flawless and phenomenal, and I've never needed a backup, but I've got one if I need it, or if somebody else needs a backup or needs one or doesn't have one. A new shooter shows up and doesn't have one, and I've got something they can use. By all means, use it. Anything I can do to help you guys out is fantastic. So that's kind of what's in the big pouch at the front. Top pouch, again, I like to have things kind of up top that I can grab easy. Rangefinder, Kestrel, which I use for my ballistics. So those guys are always easy to grab right up top. A couple other things in here. Snacks, you always gotta have snacks between stages. You don't want to get hungry, so I've got snacks. A couple of rubber bands. I use these guys personally a lot, especially in rain or dusty conditions. I have a chamber flag that I kind of cut off short. It goes into my action, and then I'll loop this around the bolt handle and around the windage turret to keep the bolt closed, and keeps a lot of junk out of the chamber and junk out of the action. So I use rubber bands a lot with my chamber flag. I've got some Write in the Rain paper and a Write in the Rain tablet in case, again, I need paper dope for something or need to write on something. It's always good to have Write in the Rain paper. I have an ink pen and a pencil down here somewhere. Got a pencil in the bottom. I have some hot hands. If it's colder, winter time, it's good to have a set of hot hands in case it's freezing and you don't think to grab them or you want them. I've got just a thing of Rem oil wipes. These are great if stuff is in really nasty, dusty conditions, or rifle gets kicked over into the mud or whatever. It's nice to be able to have something to wipe something off and then wipe it down with some oil just to keep everything running smooth. I've got a little Trigicon microfiber lens cloth little deal here. I keep it in a Ziploc to keep it from getting wet, but that's great for cleaning glass if you need to. During a match, if something gets fingerprints or dirt or nasty and you need to wipe it off. Don't want to smear dirt around any more than we have to, but it's nice to have if you need it. This is a rain cover for my scope and action. It was actually a dry bag that I picked up at Walmart and split the bottom of, and it works pretty well. I've also got a good buddy of mine, Joe Burdick, that makes rain covers for the entire rifle. Rock Solid Shooting Solutions is the name of that company, and those are fantastic, and I will probably upgrade to one of those over this guy at some point, but that's what's in here right now. I just haven't gotten one from him yet. Great piece of kit. It's always nice to have if you end up shooting in the rain. You want to try to keep your gear as dry as possible. Usually I've got a set of a couple of pairs or a couple of different trash bags, smaller and like a bigger, heavier duty black trash bag in there. But that's nice to have to cover up guns or packs or whatever. Top pouch here, I've got some backup earplugs, my barricade stop for my MPA chassis, another barricade stop as a backup, and a little binder clip, again just kind of a backup for makeshift dope card holders if anybody needs one. And we'll get into the meat of the pouch here. So the big part of the pack, got a big large fat bag stuffed in here. So I stuff that guy in there when I need the pack to be big and fluffy. So if I'm shooting a rooftop or something like that where I want the bag big and fluffy and as fat as I can get it, I'll shove a fat bag in there. If I'm not and I don't need it or I need the space for other things, I'll just wrap the little bungee around and I'll clip it on the molly outside and it'll just ride out here all day, just swinging around. Another small pouch or small zippered pouch inside the big portion is where I keep my magazines. So I keep 3 loaded mags, not necessarily always loaded, but I keep 3 mags during a match. They're always loaded in there. So I've always got them. Usually have one in my hand or one in there in between stages. I've got one on my hip in a mag pouch or mag holster, and then I've got an extra third one in here. I've been to some matches where I've needed 3 mags for one stage. Most of the time 2 will get you by, but it's always good to have them. Better to need it or have it not need it than need it and not have it, kind of thing. Let's see what else is in here. Ammo. I keep my ammo in a Coltac. Again, Coltac, the same company that made the multitasker pouch. This is their ammo binder, and it's fantastic. I think they claim it holds 80 rounds. Mine actually holds a little more than that. I think it's got a couple of extra sewn in it, but it's a fantastic pouch for holding ammo, and it'll hold pretty much any different size cartridge you need it to hold. These are my little itty bitty weensy little dasher rounds that everybody loves to make fun of, but it will hold bigger ammo as well. Got a little pouch up front if you want to label it for what it is, but it's got molly too. If you want to connect it to the outside of the pack, you could. I just throw it inside the pack to keep it from getting wet if it's in rain. I've got a game changer in here. Those are pretty much the only 2 bags I carry anymore, are the large fat bag from Armageddon Gear and a game changer. I really haven't. I've got a lot of other bags that I've accumulated over the years, and those are pretty much the only ones I use anymore. So they're all I carry. I've got a Weebad roll up, really super small shooting mat. I've needed it a couple of times. It's nice to have if you need it, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. It also works great for covering up rifles in the rain if you want to just spread it out over top you and a buddy's rifle or whatever to keep them from getting wet. It's nice to do with that. And last but not least, all the way in the bottom, I always have rain gear. If you have rain gear, put it in the bottom of the pack and forget about it. If you need it, it'll be there. If you don't have rain gear, go buy some. It's always good to have rain gear, guys. You never know what the weather's going to be at a match, and you don't want to get caught in a downpour without it. It's also nice if it rains, not only to keep you from getting wet, but also to keep you from getting muddy and nasty when you're rolling around shooting barricades off your knees or prone laying in a mud hole or whatever. I mean, you never know, and it's nice to have. So I've got a rain jacket and rain pants, and I just, like I said, I keep them folded up in the bottom of the pack. Game changer usually goes on top of that with a little Weebad roll, my ammo, and then, like I said, my fat bag will go in on top of that if I need it and I want the pack big and fluffy. So that's pretty much it as far as my pack. There's molly all over it, so if I wanted to put stuff all over the outside I could, but the only thing I really run on the outside are the fluffy bags and then the brass bag, just because it's easy to get to and easy to dump brass in. So I hope this video helps you guys kind of get an idea of what you might find in a pack, what is in my pack in the rooftop video that you guys are going to see or have seen already. A couple of other things I've got over here off to the side that you might want in a pack or might have in a pack. This is a sunshade. It's always good to have a sunshade. I usually run mine on the gun, so it's not in my pack, but I took it off for this video just so you guys could see. A lot of people will keep one with them somewhere. It's nice to have if it rains because it keeps water from being that much closer or that much further away from your objective lens. So I don't necessarily use it as much for sun as I do for rain, because you've got that much further that the water has to travel to get on that lens, and it's nice to keep the lens clean. I touched earlier on the binoculars. This is a Vortex Solo monocular that I've used in the past. So if you don't have binoculars or something small enough to fit in there, pick up a monocular. It's really good for picking out targets between stages or when you get to a stage. Let's see what else I have over here. I've got a little small USB phone charger. If you're using a phone to keep your ballistic data with, it's nice to have backup battery power in case your battery dies. If you're out in the middle of the boonies and you don't have any cell service and your phone keeps searching and searching and searching for service and it's not finding anything, then it's just going to deplete the battery. So it's nice to have backup power if you need it, if that's what you're using for data or ballistics, because you don't want to get halfway through the day and your phone just up and die and now you don't have any data. Backup batteries, if you use batteries for anything, whether it be a rangefinder, a Kestrel, whatever that may be, always good to have backup batteries for those pieces of kit. Again, for the same reason that we just touched on for the phone. Safety glasses. Some matches require pistol. If you're shooting pistol in a match, stick your safety glasses in the pack or somewhere, wherever. But they're nice to have close by if you need them. And that's pretty much it, guys. Again, I hope this video helped you kind of get an idea of what some different things you might want in your pack when you go to a match or when you shoot a match, and different things in different ways. I use a pack for rear support, like I said, whether it be on a rooftop or a low kneeling position. I've used it on some positions that are more about yay height, like, I don't know, a foot and a half off the ground. Those are the positions that kind of get people a lot of times. A lot of people want to try to sit. A lot of times what I end up doing is just go double kneeling behind those positions and have a big backpack used for a rear bag, and you still get those 2 points of contact, one up front on the gun and one for the using this as a big rear bag. Same principle as the rooftop. So again, I hope it helped you. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check us out from time to time. We will be posting videos constantly, just trying to give you guys a lot of help, a lot of just good content, good info to have for long-range, precision long-range shooting and getting into matches. Thanks again. And again, my name is Bryan Lewis, PrecisionRifle101.com. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.